Hey guys, it's your girl Lakia Maria and welcome to another video here on the channel. Whether you're new to the channel or an OG, I primarily share planning and organizational videos, and today I'm going to be sharing my January budget recap. We have a lot to cover, from my goals to how much I spent in my different categories, how much did I earn, how are my sinking funds looking. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So just a little bit about where I am financially. I am a part-time nanny. My income is approximately $2,000 a month, which breaks down to $500 a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. It all fluctuates. Also, I do not have a car payment. I do not have a rent payment. So the expenses that I do have are minimal, and I am dedicating more of my income and earnings to saving. So that has been my focus this month. Also, trying to increase my income has been another focus. So getting into my January financial goals as a recap. So I wanted to reduce my personal spending to $50 a week, which I did. So I successfully cut my spending allowance in half from $100 to $50, and I maintained at that amount. Also, there were weeks that I didn't spend anything, and I also didn't allocate anything to that particular category. So how I have things divided is I have my sinking funds, which I have different categories for, but then there's my cash envelopes, which is my frequent spending. So my food allowance, which is $100 a week, then my personal spending, which I went from $100 to $50, and then my transportation, which I add $50 a week to that, and that covers gas, and then every month and a half-ish, I pay toll. So that is almost $100 there. So every time I'm adding on that $50, when it comes time for me to pay the toll, the money is already there. I don't have to take it from my weekly check. So reducing my personal spending, great, wonderful. Then I wanted to maximize my $100 weekly food budget by creating a meal plan prior to grocery shopping, less takeout. Now, in the beginning of the month, it was what it was. I was not really out here grocery shopping. I didn't grocery shop at all. But for the past 2 weeks ending out January, I did grocery shop, and my focus now is to create a meal prep plan around what it is that I have left over from the previous week, check out the sales, see what's going to make the most sense and what's going to get me the most bang for my buck, and also seeing the stores in the area that are going to give me the most bang for my buck. So I did stay within my budget, so that is a major plus. And anytime I had money left over from the previous week, I just went ahead and added another $100, which is opposite of what I was doing for my personal allowance. If I didn't spend it, I didn't add to it. But for my food allowance, if I had something left over, I would just add that 100 again, and it actually worked out for my benefit in the end. And then increasing my income, I did sell a few things on Mercari, and I did pick up some bonus babysitting the last full week of January, so that was a plus there, unexpected. So for February, I want to set more financial goals, and I want to use actual dollar amounts. So instead of saying, oh, I want to make more money, I want to set an amount of what it is that I'm trying to reach. And if I exceed that, cool. Even if I come under, cool. But I want to set more monetary goals. So one of the things I do is I have expense trackers, but I divide my expense trackers. I have one for my Amex card, and then each week when I'm doing this paycheck budget tracker, and this is from the Budget Mom, this expense tracker is from Etsy. I'll have more information in the description box. But one thing I like to do is in between each of my paycheck budget trackers, I will put an expense tracker. So this one I have for Cash App, which has all of my personal spending. I wanted to separate that from my debit card. So all of the money goes into my checking account, which is linked to my debit card. And then from there, I divide the money accordingly. So my bills are taken out from my debit card. But then when it comes to anything I spend on food, my personal spending, my transportation, that all goes to my Cash App card. And then my sinking funds, I leave all of that inside of here. I am using a cash method for my sinking funds right now and cashless for my cash envelopes. It's working out fine right now. So I stayed within what it is that I wanted to for the month of January. One thing that did throw me for a loop in the month of January was my car maintenance. I was not expecting this at all. I had to have work done on my car. And I'm over here grabbing the receipts so that I could be accurate because I need to update the parts amount. So I had to have an oil change, not anything major there. But I had some leaking in the back of my car. I had to get my tire checked. So that was all a part of one service. And that was $546. And then my boyfriend's mechanic, I have an issue with the heat in my car, and I still have to have some other things done as well. So I had to have a new sensor and a new radiator put in. My car had been rattling for what seems like forever. So thankfully I was able to get the rattling fixed and a new radiator put in. And with an older car, it comes with the maintenance. That's just what it is. So the parts that I put on Amex, let me just see how much all that was. So that's 48 plus $210.74. $210.74. So that came out to $258.74. So that total came out to be, plus the labor, which was $120. So that's $378.74. And when I put money here, I meant cash. And then this was put on Amex as well. So when you add the $378.84 plus the $546.45, that's $925.19 that I spent on my car. And all of this would be paid through, well, this would come out of my emergency savings. And this one, because it's lower, I already paid for the labor part. But this one, because it's lower and it's not due the same time that this one's due, because it was done during 2 different billing cycles. So this one is more than likely going to have to come out of my emergency savings, if not all of it, because I do have a car maintenance sinking fund, but I also have my car insurance coming up, and I want to pay the 6 months of that. I've never done that before, but I do want to pay the 6 months of that, because then I could take the money that I am spending each month on my car insurance and put that into my sinking fund, so that the next time the 6 months rolls around, I'll be good to go. So something's gonna have to come out of my emergency savings nonetheless. But this one, because it's not due until March, I should be able to start saving for that and break this down. So this is the type of thing that I would break down. And from now until when the billing date is in March, I would save each week towards that. And that's how I've been able to pay my Amex. I pay something on it each week when I get paid, and it works out. So that is that. But that's the car maintenance and how much is due. So actually, so the January total was $925, but how much is due? So when we take that $925 and we subtract $120, it's actually $805.19. And I have more work that still needs to be done on my car. So this belt, although it was purchased, it was not put on my car yet. And my radiator and my air conditioner, there's something that has to be done. There's like a panel that has to be replaced, and a new piece for that is another $200. And when you add in the labor for both of those, so I'm looking at another $300, $400 that still needs to be spent on my car. It is what it is. It is what it is. So now let me go ahead and come back over here to the Budget Mom, this yearly spending. This I have not done. I have not done this before. So this is going to be interesting to, you know, see how much I made. So coming into the earned income, that is where I come over here each week. So first week was $590. Then we had $300. And I'm going to go ahead and write down, let's see, I have a pen around here somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and write down the other amounts, because then I could add those up as supplemental, as in other income. Okay, so that makes sense. And then we have $380. I'm not going to count the 50. I just carried that over from the previous week. So that was just for my own note there. So that's $380. That was it? Oh. Yeah, that was it, because the last check that I got, I'm including that for February because it goes into February. So I guess you could say my last check of January. It's weird how I do it, but it makes sense in my head because I got paid on, I'm gonna just pull up the January calendar. So I got paid on the 28th, but the money for the 28th is actually being allocated to things that are happening in February. Makes sense? So this month is just $12.70 for me. It is $12.70, so I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna put in earned income, $12.70. Other income would be what I made on Mercari. But now I'm thinking, does that make sense to do it that way? Because I put it, that doesn't make sense in my head. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, even though it's being allocated, I'm still going to add up what I made in, so that's 400. And then that's the 245. So when we take the 1270 plus 400, this is more accurate. So 1670. So I'll do it that way. I will add up what it is, but then I will add up all of the checks that I have in each month going forward. But then if it's going to be allocated to a different week, that's like really no big deal. I can, it is what it is there. All right, so earned income, we have the 1670. Yes, and then when we add up 107.78 plus 73.48 plus 245, that's $426.26. And when we add that to the 1670, that gives me $2,096.26. Okay. So I made what I needed to this month. And I would have made more, but my other income between the bonus babysitting and what I sold on Mercari, that really helped, because there were weeks that I really only worked I did 4-day work weeks majority of January, and I was out for a week due to a COVID exposure. So everything just happened to work out there. So now I'm going to go to my expense trackers each week, and I'm going to add up my bills. So this first expense tracker, we have $267.96. So that's that. And then the next week, I don't think I had bills that week. Then we had $199.50. That was it? Are my bills that spread out? Or did I just not add them in? Yeah, that's about it. $467, that's it? Because if that's the case, I'm really looking at myself crazy right now. Like, what the hell? Like, where the hell did my money go? Like, what? That's it? That is it? Okay, now let me go to my... So right now, this is saying $467. I'm going to just write it in. $467.46. And then I need to add up how much I spent on credit, which is the Amex. And then I'm going to write that over here as well. Amex. So I need to figure out how much I spent on my Amex this month. Like how much I paid on that. So let me go and check my app. Because now I'm looking like, how much money is being spent here? All right, so when it goes to statements, I just need to look at payments. So I made a payment on the 8th for $75. I made another payment on the 14th for $76.09. And then I made one on the 28th for $100, and then another one for $210. So on credit, I spent $461. $461.09. And now going and looking at how much I spent on food. So this first one was $9.38 on this first expense tracker, which I did spend something on my debit card. And all I did was transfer the money from my Cash App card to my debit card. And then, because I meant to have it linked. In the beginning of the month, I completely forgot that I was switching things up. And I had spent something on my debit card. That has happened more than once. Okay, so $137.13. And then we have $62.97. And then $110.98. And I think that's it. So then I come back over here. So for food, that is what? $320.46. Okay? That's what I'm looking at. And then personal, I know I didn't spend that much, but I'm going to go ahead and tally up everything, and then we'll take a look at my sinking. All right, so in going back and actually reading this lovely form here, I had added up my income and put it in the savings spot. I only used $100 from my savings. I did use quite a bit on my Amex, but a huge chunk of this is for the work that I had done on my car. And then, what else do we have here? So areas that I'm proud of. I'm proud that my food and my personal spending stayed within budget. Very, very happy about that. And all of my sinking funds here, I spent what it is that I had inside of there, and I'm still saving for stuff. But this $59.17 here, yes, I'm in the red, but I have come a long way from what it is that I have been over in so many areas. So y'all, I'm going to just be happy that I did not like go too crazy. All right, so I figured out the issue with my sinking funds, and it would be my math, of course. So my self-care total as of 1/30 is $130. I didn't have these sticky notes on here before, so having a ledger is definitely essential. Like a physical ledger on these and not just on my app, but everything is all up to date. All right, so self-care, we have $130 in here, and I will need to add about I will need to add almost $100 more to this for my hair and whatnot. I get my hair done every 2 months or so. So when I break that down weekly, that's how I figure out how much I should be adding to it. So gifts, I have $75 inside of here, which is great because I just bought my grandmother Uggs for her birthday, and I had already paid $25. So now I just have to put this into this goes into my checking account, and I will have that all paid. So that's paid for. And then entertainment, I have $70. My friends and I are going to be doing an activity together. I think we're doing like an escape room or something, so that covers that. Then miscellaneous, I have $75 in here. And then my car, once I add the $110, right now this looks like $190. So once I add the $110, the total will be $216. And I can split this between either putting it on my Amex to pay for the work that I had done on my car, but I also, as I mentioned, have my car insurance coming up. So that $216 is going to come in handy so that I can just pay that full amount. And I need to get the full amount so I can see how much more I need to add there. And then the ones that I don't care about as much, like the entertainment, the miscellaneous, the gifts, the self-care, and then my car. And this budget binder is from Amazon. I will link it below. I am going to eventually put a decal on the front of here. I haven't decided exactly which one. And then all of these decals that I put on these envelopes, I put for, I made on my Cricut. And I'm thinking of potentially adding more categories. Maybe not February, but down the line, I do want to add more categories. So sinking funds have been really helpful with my shorter term goals. But gifts is always just good to keep adding to, because you know the holidays come up, birthdays come up. So me having saved that past Christmas, my grandmother's birthday being in February, my sister's 18th birthday is coming up in April, then summer birthdays, and then fall birthdays, my birthday, so all that stuff. Not that my birthday will be coming out of gifts, but my birthday's in the fall, so that's that. But lots of fall and winter birthdays, and of course Christmas. So you know, that's one of the things that you just got to keep adding to. But I'm good. I'm a wrap this up. And then February, you guys will see that in my February budget update. But I've already started setting up my February budget. Here's my monthly. February is a shorter month, by just a couple of days. And I put my January paycheck budget tracker in here in my February section, because this money is being allocated for what's happening the first week of February. So that's that. But thank you guys for tuning in. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. Did you meet your goals? Did you spend too much this month? I'm really proud of myself, y'all, for this to be the first month that I actually like tracked everything on a weekly basis and being more conscious of my spending and everything. I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud. And that's it, and that's all. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's chat in the comments. Be sure to check out all the links in the description box for more information. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And for all of you that are, thank you. I love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.